quick news break with yours truly, Mr. TALIAFERRO. I wanted to specifically focus on two artists who I believe give a very interesting perspective on being in the streets and then changing your life around and becoming a rapper, because they both have done it. 2Chainz and Casanova, obviously two totally different stories. 2Chainz had a lot of early success with DTP as Titty Boy, but when he was Titty Boy, 2Chainz will tell you in interviews, and if you ever have a conversation with him, yo, he still was in the streets moving big time weight, selling it to a lot of rappers sometimes. And in Casanova's situation, he's been in the spotlight for what, maybe 2-3 years? It ain't been that long. Bro was in the streets, and he'll tell you he did a lot of stupid, reckless shit that had him behind bars for a significant amount of his life, right? He can't get that time back. Both these dudes share an interesting perspective that I want to give you following Pop Smoke's death, which is still shocking a lot of the hip-hop community. You know, a lot of people criticize hip-hop. They criticize rap. They don't call it a real job. They believe you're just lucky to be in this spot to where you get to perform in front of fans. You know, you get to make music. You don't work a typical 9 to 5. That's not a real job, a lot of people say. Look, if you want to down the craft of making music, if you don't believe it's as a respectable position as having a 9 to 5 or maybe working for a corporation or being a CEO of an executive, look, that's your opinion. I can't knock you. But I will say this. If you don't believe guarding yourself, watching your back as hatred is coming from your way from all different directions as being an artist, if you don't believe that's a full-time job, I just think you're sadly mistaken. 2Chainz and Casanova spoke on just the life that they have to live being a hip-hop artist. Here's what 2Chainz said, and we'll make our way to one of Pop Smoke's friends, Casanova. 2Chainz said, "Success is dangerous. You sure you want this shit? I've been shot at in San Francisco. I got arrested in Maryland, LA, New York, and Oklahoma. Had a so-called standoff with the police in Oklahoma. Cali spot got broken into 4 times, all on tape, and one of them even left a phone, all since I've been a rapper. You literally gotta pray that you make it back home safe, but then you might not even make it home safe. My condolences to Pop Smoke and his family." Now I want to go over to Casanova. He said, "Man, to all you rappers, fuck what the labels say. Roll with your niggas everywhere you go. If it ain't no room for them, then it ain't no room for you, period. I'm scared and I'm gangster. I'm just saying, defense. I'm going to say it 100 times until y'all get it. Defense." All right, again, rest in peace to Pop Smoke. I understand what Casanova is saying 100%. You know, Pop Smoke and Casanova, we talked about this on my platform. They had beef a few months ago, but they got together. I salute the Meek Mill. Meek Mill was like, "Nobody want to see you Brooklyn dudes beefing with each other. Y'all too important. Stop all that." I'm not saying Meek ended the beef, but I appreciate Meek putting it out on social media. No, we don't need y'all beefing. They did dinner. They got whatever issues out of the way. Casanova actually said, "If I gotta punch Pop Smoke, we'll do that in person, but we ain't finna do this beef shit on the internet and talk about who outside and all that." So I appreciate them two ending their feud before it was too late. I like what Casanova is saying, and I've always felt this way. I've never been mad at a rapper for going deep. I know a lot of people be like, "Why you got so many people around you?" I've always questioned why rappers got yes men around them that won't tell them how it is. But I've always appreciated the rappers who keep their homeboys with them on the road, that do work and actually, you know what I mean? They're, you know, some dudes don't do the social media shit. Some dudes, their job is to make sure nobody touches their guy, their friend, their homie. You cannot put your money, you cannot put your trust into security and think it's gonna be enough. I don't care how much you pay for security. 50,000 a year, 100,000 a year, 500,000 a year, whatever it is, $1 million a year. I don't care what it is. You can't put your trust in somebody who at the end of the day didn't grow up with you, and they got a wife and kids, or they got a husband and kids, whatever the situation is. You can't put your trust in somebody who just wanted to make it home at the end of the night. When it's your homies, if the love is genuine, you are the home that they making it to that night in a lot of ways, right? In a lot of situations, y'all go to the same place or whatever it is. So that's the person that a lot of these rappers trust, and I've always saluted. I've always respected. I'm never questioning that. You feel like you got to move deep. You feel like you got a lot of issues in the street. You just ain't safe at night. You make enough money, afford it. You know, I've always respected, and I think that's what the perspective Casanova and 2Chainz are coming from. Like, yo, it's real out here. Another artist that had a super promising career is gone now, and there is no bringing him back. Quick news break with yours truly, Mr. TALIAFERRO. I'm not sure if that was Pop Smoke's situation, if he was around some people who maybe weren't the streetest of guys, right? Because I'm sure when he's in New York, I'm sure Pop Smoke was heavy, deep. I've seen video of it. I'm not sure if that's what Casanova is saying but that seems to be the situation. He was in the West Coast probably for his label, and he was not as deep as he would have been because the label probably wasn't gonna pay for all that. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids, they tuned in.
We locked in right now,
Mr. Taliaferro.
Mr. Taliaferro.
Shout out to Mr. Taliaferro.
You're watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV.